Intrigued, T. Harv Eker claims that 5 minutes of conversation is all he needs to map out your lifelong financial trajectory with terrifying accuracy. This prediction bypasses your bank balance, your job title, or recent stock market performance. Eker looks instead at your money blueprint, the invisible psychological operating system running your subconscious mind. While we feel like we are making rational, independent choices when we spend or save, our reactions to money are largely automated responses triggered by this background software. Unless you identify that underlying blueprint, even the most aggressive hard work or lucky windfalls will fail to create a permanent shift in your financial standing. This operating system was installed during childhood through 3 specific mechanisms of environmental conditioning. First is verbal conditioning, the offhand limitations and cliches about wealth we absorbed from our parents, such as the idea that money is a source of trouble or that wealth is reserved for the dishonest. Next is modeling. We locked in our parents' financial behaviors by observation, subconsciously mimicking their patterns of extreme frugality, reckless spending, or constant anxiety. Finally, specific incidents. Emotionally charged events like a family bankruptcy or a heated argument over bills permanently anchored our core fears about money. This flowchart illustrates how childhood origins manifest through the TFAR formula. Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings drive actions, and actions dictate results. Attempting to change results without rewriting the initial thought creates a dead end. The final outcome remains bound by the source code. Escaping an inherited struggle requires you to identify and replace this faulty programming at its root. The operational differences between a wealthy mind and a poor mind are best understood as 2 contrasting algorithms processing the same economic reality. A poor mindset defaults to a defensive strategy, where every financial decision is filtered through a fear of loss. The rich mindset adopts an offensive stance, taking action despite uncertainty, with the expectation that they control their own trajectory. These blueprints change how people perceive their surroundings. The programmed poor mind scans for obstacles and feels resentment toward success. The rich mind scans for opportunities and actively seeks out successful mentors. Applying the TFAR formula reveals why 2 people facing the same economic crisis will take entirely opposing actions based on their internal filters. Victimhood and abundance function as distinct mental algorithms, filtering the data your brain allows you to see and act upon. The most significant divider between these blueprints is the way each mind calculates the relationship between work, time, and reward. This diagram shows the poor mind's reliance on trading time for money, a linear loop fundamentally capped by the 24-hour limit. The rich mind looks for scalable value, demanding compensation based on results and the impact they generate, rather than the hours they log. This focus on results leads to confident self-promotion, as the wealthy mind understands that its value must be communicated to be rewarded. This logic eventually leads to the creation of self-sustaining systems, where money is put to work to generate further assets independently. Financial leverage is impossible to achieve if your internal software continues to equate hard work directly with an hourly wage. Wealth building begins with an intense internal psychological audit. Viewing poor financial habits as inherited software removes the weight of guilt regarding past struggles, shifting the focus from blame to reprogramming. A wealthy mind is defined by a commitment to continuous mental upgrades, specifically rejecting the complacency of thinking it already knows everything. Realizing financial freedom requires you to monitor your thoughts in real time, catching inherited fears before they can trigger your old defensive actions. By consciously choosing to rewrite the code, you change the starting point of every future action, setting the TFAR chain reaction in motion to eventually transform your financial reality.